Beat Making Basics.
What's going on YouTube? Beat Making Basics back again with another dope video. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and do me a favor. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure those bell notifications are on because we're coming back to back with bangers. Now today's video, I'm gonna be giving mixing tips to all Logic Pro 10 users, okay? So check this out. This is a beat that I made. It's pretty fire, I like it. You know, you gotta be the judge to let me know if you like it as well. But basically this is a beat that I made. It's like a Tory Lanez type beat. It's kind of what I'm on right now. Chicks tape, Tory Lanez type beats, or whatever. But this is kind of has like a nice little bop to it, kind of like a popish / R&B / hip hop beat to it, okay? So it's a beat that people can sing to or rap to. I'm gonna let y'all hear the beat and then I'm gonna give y'all some basic mixing tips, all right? So that's the beat mixed, and then this is the beat after I do a mastering plug-in on it. All right, so those are the beats. Let me go over here. First things first, if you notice here, everything is audio, all right? So that's gonna be my first tip that I'm gonna give to you all. Once you finish making your beat and send MIDI files and everything, go ahead and export your session as audio, okay? That's the first thing I'm gonna say. The next thing I'm gonna say is you're gonna wanna take those audio files or their stems and then put them into a brand new session, like you see here. And I'm gonna just talk about levels, getting the right levels and everything. And the reason why we don't see those in here, I just opened up this session, so for whatever reason, some of the plugins haven't loaded. But the beat's already mixed, it's already ready to go. But anyway, we'll talk about levels. You always want to make sure that, let me just tell you this. Like when it comes to levels, as you can see here, I have some auxiliary tracks here. All right, this one is the drums. This is the melody. This is a super crazy good tip. Instead of grouping your tracks and everything first and then mixing it, I would recommend going ahead and getting the levels first, okay, and then group it. Because that way you can actually just go ahead, after you get the levels right, you could just turn down these auxiliary tracks as you saw me do right here, or you see me do right here. Okay, so that's a huge mixing tip right there. Like, and all you have to do to group your tracks, you just take, like, say you want to do the drums, you just highlight them like that, and then over here we see output. Instead of just doing stereo out, you're gonna go to one of these buses and you want to pick an available bus and then just send it right over there like that. And basically it's gonna take all the signals right here and send it over here. And so now I have control, 100% control over the whole group here, okay? So for instance, when it comes to giving headroom, like let's listen to the beat right here. You're gonna look at the meter. And so basically the highest the track is going is at -3.5, you know, which is enough headroom. Even though it's peaking just a little bit right here on this kick, because I was able to turn these groups down, it still gave me some headroom. And so that's like a huge tip right here that I'm giving right there on that. Another thing, if you really look at this kick, I'm throwing this smack attack on it, and it could just really boost that level that of your kick. Sometimes if you have a kick that's coming through, maybe it sounded dope on its own, but once you put it in a mix, it sounded muddy or kind of tucked away. You can use this smack attack plugin to make it shine through in the mix. And as you can see also with the tack, I'm just turning that tack up a little bit and then turning the sustain to the you know, this way. All right, I could put a clip on it, but I just left it as so. I also went ahead and threw this smack attack on the 808. So like if we were just gonna listen just to the 808 and the kick, let's just check that out. Now, if I was to take off these other plugins on here, this is how it would sound. Still hitting, but when you throw the smack attack and everything on, it's just a little bit of a difference, you know what I mean? So that's a little tip right there as well. Also, keeping things simple. I don't have a whole lot of plugins on here. I just have a few plugins and this stuff that I need. Okay, like I put this R bass on the 808 without the R bass on here. With the R bass. And I only put that R bass on here because this 808 within the beat didn't sound like it was hitting as hard as it needed to. So that's why I put it on there. So, you know, another mixing tip I would say is only do what's needed for that session, you know what I'm saying, or just your beats. Don't try to use the same thing on every beat. Cause like if I put this R bass on a 808 and another beat, it might be too much or it might not be needed. All right. After I got the levels right, I EQ'd. I did subtractive EQing, basically where I'm taking out certain frequencies. So for instance, for this sample, if I look right here, you're gonna see that most of the audio or wave file is coming in roughly around 100 and above here. And so, like if you look at the 808s curve, all right, most of its frequencies are coming in actually kind of under that. So basically by subtractive EQing, we're basically giving some room for the 808s or the lower ending sounds to punch through the mix some. Same thing with this kick, but let's check it out. See how where the peaks are in this 808? The peaks in the 808 are really right under this 125. All right. So I'm taking, for the most part, everything under 125 out in this melody track to make room for the peak of this 808 or the bigger portion that's going to come through the mix there. Now I could have taken a lot of more of the highs and everything out of this 808, but the reason why I didn't, because I really liked some of that like airy vibe in this 808. Same thing with this kick. If we just look at this kick as well, you're gonna see that a lot of the frequencies are like right under that 125 range. You feel me? So this one actually has a lot more body on this kick, but you know, you can still see that peak. That peak is coming out like it's definitely under that 125 range. So like I said, I could kind of clear up that kick a little bit more, but I kind of liked how it sounded like this. And then after I get the mix right, get the levels right and everything, you will see that I did just a slight bit of panning. I didn't do too crazy on the pans. I'm panning it, you know what I mean? I had these hats going like one way, and then I had this open hat going the other way, and then just brief, just a little, just ever so slightly, you know what I'm saying? Ever so slightly, you know, I panned some of these instruments over here to the left or right. Another thing I did, there's this sound right here that I have going for the hook. It was real gritty and really just too much highs in it. Let's check it out. So I liked that sound. I'm just gonna turn on some of these. But I felt like it, you know, it was just too gritty and too high. So like one thing I did to compensate that, I still took out some of the low end right here, but I just rolled off some of those highs with this EQ. So that actually helped a lot. And then when I took this Murder Melodies plugin, and actually this lo-fi echo did a lot to it because it has like a pitch. It pitched it down an octave in some of it, and then I got this. And And I felt like that really did add to it, just having that other tone under this high-pitched synth. This is one of my favorite plugins, okay? It's called MV2. It's by Waves, and I really love it. It's like one of these compressors that you just gotta have, man, because you can pretty much compress the highs and the lows, so individually. And so it kind of boosted up the signal. If you listen to these, the melodies without this, you're gonna see it. It makes a big difference. That's without the MV2 plugin on these, and then this is with the MV2. And I didn't really do a whole lot. As you can see here, I didn't like over compress it, but it's just a super simple basic compression. So let's just do it on one track, and you can kind of hear it better. So we're gonna do it on this one. You'll see the difference. This is without. This is those little slight bits of, just to boost it a little bit. I also want you to pay attention right here to this track right here, right? If you look closely, there's some fades right here. And sometimes when you export your files as audio, maybe you might have certain clips or pops in it when it loops. And I would highly recommend sometimes, like if you start listening to each track, make sure that it's not popping at the end of the loop. To get around it, all you're gonna do is just click T, and you can go down to your fader tool, and you can come in at the end of that and just roll off some of that, and then you can just re-loop it after you do that. That's just if for whatever reason, it's doing that. Now I found out the reason why it didn't loop right. Basically, when I played this sample through, there was just a little bit of space at the end. It was almost to the point where it was almost not there, but just having that little space in there created a little pop, like right when the loop was trying to go again. So to compensate that, I just came in here and rolled that off and everything like that. So that helps out a whole lot when it comes to mixing and making sure that everything is clean, okay? Now, the next step is to come over here and bounce this down. So if you push Command B, I usually use this PCM option. Instead of going with AIFF or CAF or whatever, I go with Wave. I go 24-bit and then 48 for the sample rate. Interleaves is fine, dithering no, normalize off. All right, now bounce it down. Then I'll take that file and I'll bring it back in here. And so when I brought it in here, I just used this mastering assistant. Just clicked on that, pushed next and pushed play, and it did its thing. Now, one other thing I want to point out about the mix here is sometimes when you bring your beat over here and put the mastering, put this Ozone plugin on and use this mastering assistant, which is AI, it's like artificial intelligence mastering your track for you. You want to make sure that, you don't have a whole lot of highs in the mix. So you might have to come back to your mix, okay, and turn down certain things. Originally, the hi-hats were up louder, but the reason why I turned them down is because I knew that when it came to mastering or putting on that mastering assistant, that it was going to be too loud. And so, you'll actually start to see in some of these. This is for the clap. I rolled off some of the highs on the clap, the hi-hats, different things like that. So I don't know why this computer is playing around with me, bruh. Come on. So yeah, I just rolled off some of the highs. Okay, I could have easily took that plugin completely off if I needed to, but I decided to roll that off here. So if I click there, just that little bit of rolling just makes a difference. Okay, so that's pretty much the video. I just wanted to just share a couple of mixing tips with you. If anybody who's been following my videos for a while knows that as far as my story is concerned, maybe you haven't had a chance to kind of know this, but I really used to struggle with mixing. And it was just because I was trying to apply mixing principles to every single beat the same way. All right. So, and also I didn't understand what compressors, were and when I needed to use them, when I shouldn't use them. And so, it was just a lot of things I had to learn. And my mixes used to suck. I'm talking about really suck. And I'm so glad I took the time to just invest in certain courses, training, and then also invest in myself, just taking the time every day to come in here in the software and get into it. So, and that's the last tip I want to leave you before I end this video is you can get these tips from YouTube. You can get the tips from my courses. You can get the tips from doing one-on-ones with me. But at the end of the day, if you're not going to, make sure that every day you're guaranteeing that you're going to work on it, it's only so good you're going to be able to get. You get the best way to get good at something is to really just keep on doing it over and over and over and over again. Now, there might be a Grammy-winning person or somebody who got more placements or more this, more that, and say, hey, I don't like this mix. But the main thing you got to understand, y'all, is everything is subjective. And once you get it sounding professional, it's subjective after that. You know what I'm saying? What I'm here to do is help you to at least sound professional. After you sound professional, you can always do other little things to make it even sound better. You feel me? But either way, y'all, thank you for watching. Make sure you go to my site, beatmakingbasics.com. I have a lot of goodies there for you, a lot of things that can help you in your career and help you get to the next level. Beat Making Basics is all about, teaching music production in a simple, easy to understand way. A lot of people that you're going to listen to, they're going to overcomplicate things, give you a whole lot of game that you don't need, talk about a whole bunch of stuff that is not really relevant to what you need. All right? That's not what we're here to do. We're here to simplify the process and everything like that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. We're out.